Hello, fellow Constructicon fans. Today we're going to be taking a look at Studio 01's Tremor, their take on Long Haul. This is actually their second take on Long Haul and a second pass at Devastator. The first one was under the Toy World moniker and they later rebranded to Zeta, but now they're known as Studio 1 and probably more known for their Primus and Unicron. But this is interesting. You know, we do pride ourselves on being honest and genuine on this channel. And I will say, I like this toy a lot. Manufacturing, parts, transformation is interesting. But this bit right now is, I don't know. I know it's for Hook. And I hope that when he comes in, this kind of like weebly wobbliness and things like that, I hope Hook is the one that's going to address all of that by tabbing into what I think is slots over here. And also there's some sliding mechanisms on the top of that area. And these other bits in the back, I do hope that Hook does something about this because currently these chunky legs are only held in place by those panels. And so I'm relying on Hook to bring some solidarity to this because one of the critiques about the Toy World Devastator, it was that it was weebly wobbly. It had a lot of wobble to it because small wobbles combined with other wobbles add up to big wobbles, right? And so I'm hoping that they've improved upon their build because this thing is certainly really, really nice to look at. The detail, the deco, everything is good. And I'm just giving you a sneak quick preview of a sneak peek, a preview of this torso mode. Then I'm going to show you the truck mode, then the bot mode, then go through the transformation and stuff. And I think the transformation is probably my least favorite part about it. There are some unique things that it does. I mean, you can see what's going on over here. These are actually the arms and the legs back over here, the tires, and this entire bit on the bottom, the hips and stuff, they're all hidden within, and I think it's cleverly done, but still, I'm going to reserve judgment until we get all the guys, especially Hook, and take a look at all of that then. But for now, I've given you a sneak peek of this torso. Now let's move on to the truck mode, then we can go into the bot mode and transformation. All right, here's mode number 2, the cybernetic construction vehicle or dump truck. I really like this a lot. This might be my favorite of all 3 modes, and it cleans up really, really well. Great detail and deco, the blacks, the purple, the silvers, breaking up the lime green thing. And the tires are cool. They're well done. They're rubber with chrome, but dude, they get like sticky and stuck on the side of this thing, and it doesn't really roll well, as you can see. Not all the tires will roll like all the time. Hey, you know what? That's probably the best that I've seen it roll. So, okay, not bad, not bad. Yeah. They just like to get stuck, and you just have to unstick them, so to speak. But for what it's worth, cleans up good. The truck bed over here is nice. These are the shins, by the way, and you'll see all of the transformation later. The back parts, they have these little windows. Not really sure why, but the little inclusion of the lights, that's nice. Undercarriage is pretty clean. This is the head and neck, by the way, trip out, right? And yeah, you'll get to see all of that in the transformation. But yeah, that is the head and neck piece hidden there. I haven't found a way to include the blaster. I mean, there's a bit of a gap over here, but I don't know. The Toy World stuff, this stuff generally, like, it fit down there and would act as an exhaust. I haven't found any meaningful way to do this, so but that's fine. You know what? I'm actually no, that's not going to work. Anyway. But yeah, dude, I love the triple windows in the front. The grill, the bumper area is done well. Looks good. Detailing, engraving, that the sculpt work is great. The Devastator chest crest over here forming the top of the truck is cool. This looks like a hose or some type of blaster. The wing bits almost look like side mirrors. And overall, it's a very, very nice piece. Like I said, it might be my favorite of the 3 modes. And when you see this, some of those fears that you had from the torso mode are definitely alleviated because you're like, yeah, this is a solid beast. And once you see the bot mode, the bot mode is just absolutely beastly. It's so massive. But I think the whole torso thing is going to be improved with the inclusion of Hook, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. But anyway, yeah, this has been a sneak preview of the truck mode, and now I'm going to show you bot mode, and then afterward, we'll go into the transformation. Cool? Ba-bum. Hey, really quick with a commercial break from our sponsor, TF Safari. tfsafari.com. Check them out for all of your mecha needs from first, second, third, fourth party. They also do upgrades as well. You're not going to find a lot of sites that cater to different tastes and needs. tfsafari.com. And if you do go there, utilize the codes that you see on the top right corner of the screen and save yourself a little bit of change, main. They are a very reliable vendor. They are out of China. They ship to you in about 2 weeks, super sturdy boxes. And yeah, tfsafari.com. Can't say enough nice things about them. And so thank you so much, TF Safari, for sponsoring this video. All right, so here we have him in his bot mode, and we're going to go over all the pros and cons. But before we do that, I just wanted to give you a size comparison. Look. This is roughly a Masterpiece Scale Prime, YOLO Park to be exact, and he's barely passing the belly mark for this guy. He's huge. He's absolutely the largest Constructicon that I've ever messed with, and in terms of his combined form as Devastator, it might be, like, I'm shaking my head right now in like disbelief. It's probably going to be as big or even bigger than their Unicron or Primus, and so absolutely massive. Him by himself, he's like 3/4 the height of the Mecha Invasion like Devastator, and so just wow, big wow factor going on. But yeah, so let me talk about him a little bit more. I'm going to move him off the screen, and so I'll be right back, okay? Yeah, so again, pure beefcake, straight up sirloin steak. And you can totally tell that this is a Toy World product. If you're familiar with the Toy World Devastator and you know what the individual Constructicons look like, there's a lot of similarities that you'll see in terms of the composition, from the thighs, the arms. I mean, that's where I see it the most, actually. The thighs, the arms, and the joint bits from the elbows to the back of the knees, the way the hands are constructed, definitely giving off that Toy World Devastator vibe. I do wish some things were different, and primarily I'm speaking from the perspective of joints. So he does have a mixture of ratchets. Man, the hands are so Toy World, for better or for worse, and so are the forearms too. But he does come with a mix of ratchets and friction joints. And I wish there were more ratchets, because he's big. He's, I mean, I keep saying that, but he's not light. And like this, you hear this? You can't really hear that, but he has light ratchets there. But this over here, there's nothing. And while it will hold it, you can see it's slowly sinking down. And the mechanism by which this works is a double hinge bar. There's the first hinge right there. There's a second hinge over there. And I don't know if it's because they wanted to give him this additional mobility to do the hi-ya, or if it's part of the transformation, because you can hear the ratchet there, right? And I like that. I like that a lot. And I wish there was more of that, because that second bar sometimes makes it confusing when you're trying to transform him. And he does have that too. You hear that? And that's good. It does ratchet better one way than the other. The other way, it doesn't really sound as strong, so maybe that's a spring issue. But yeah, needs more of those ratchets. And he has that here, and that's good. But similar to that double hinge, we have this mechanism up here where the entire arm is connected. There are no ratchets there, and it's just this simple swing bar, so I am a tad bit worried about that. I mean, it doesn't feel flimsy. It's just, I don't know, just I'm a worrier, I guess. Not a warrior, a worrier. Maybe I am a warrior. But, I don't know. And he has a bit of a wobble because the way the legs are set up, the back over here, the heels do not touch, they don't touch the bottom of the calf. And so everything is just resting on this friction mechanism. And it is tight right now, but over time, I'm not sure what those are going to look like, especially when they are supporting this kind of like beefy boy. And as I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the torso mode, that is a concern that I have, the wobble factor, because Toy World Devastator had the wobble factor. And it's because one part's wobbly and it cascades up. You add that to 2, 3, 4 parts, and then it just intensifies the wobble factor. And it does have me a little bit concerned. But as you can see, the head sculpt is good. Very, very long haul. Brilliant chrome over there. Nice silver paint. I mean, paint and deco, excuse me while I burp. 1 second. Man, these burps have been sneaking up on me really fast, man. I gotta be better about catching them. What was I talking about? Wobble factor, detailed paint. Oh yeah, the detail's great. Like you can see the caution lines over here. You can see that nice detailing. This on the thighs, This on the calf, like all of this is great. All of this is beautiful and wonderfully done. And so definitely some skill ups and level ups. And you can see all that beautiful engraving work over here. Much more sophisticated than what we saw before. And then you can see the chest crest hidden on his back. Well, maybe not even hidden. You know, I'm wondering actually right now, because, you know, earlier I showed you how this can be pulled out. I wonder if you can kind of have a backpack. Huh. With this bit extended. Hold up, I'm gonna try it off camera, okay? Okay, I did it. That's kind of cool, man. I will say that is kind of cool. A tiny little jetpack on the back. I can respect that. I can respect that. I mean, probably not intended, but works out fine, and so we're gonna kind of keep it as is. Yes, the wings would be nice if they were larger, but is what it is. But yeah, more about him. The waist skirts, they move independently. Partially it is due to transformation, but they do kind of like swing and move around. Same thing for the back parts as well. Same thing for this part, but largely used for transformation because you got to swing the waist around later. He can get in some dynamic poses, utilizing those ratchets, utilizing those frictions. And let's see if we can kind of like pose him up right now. Double elbow bends. And then, yeah, due to that double swing bar over there and those ratchet mechanisms, you can do a lot, and he will get into some nice poses. But again, just me on a personal level, I wish there was more of those beautiful ratchets that you hear, and he is kind of top heavy. So you can get him in some dynamic poses, but maybe he's not going to keep it for like ever. That's not bad though. That's not bad, and it's good for like a thumbnail shot and stuff, you know. But yeah, man, yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. And I think that's a good overview of the robot mode. Great detail, man. It looks good. The green and the green and the black, everything is broken up well. The purple in the backpack, that's really well done. There's very few things that I dislike about this, but again, if I were to point them out, needs more ratchets, less reliance on friction joints, especially on areas where there's a lot of weight bearing down, less wobble factor, and perhaps a little bit more of a streamlined engineering transformation experience going into torso mode, because it's kind of weird. And even going into car mode, truck mode, even though it's easy, some stuff is a bit of a head scratcher, and you'll see in just a second. And so without further ado, let's get on with the transformation. All right, we're gonna start transforming him, and the transformation is it's interesting. It's not finessed, so to speak. Like if you think about Mecha Invasion, that is the epitome of finesse, in my opinion. And if you think about like X-Transbot, that's the epitome of crude. This is not crude, but it does lack a certain amount of finesse, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So to prepare the hands, you got to make sure that the fingers are fully curled in. And oh, by the way, big shout out to Deluxe Baldwin. I had to watch his video because the instructions are not great. I watched his video to help me get through some tricky transformation parts. So shout out to Big Dog out there. And so, yeah, you're going to hide the fist in there. It operates off of a double panel mechanism. You flip up, flip back, and then you hide the fist intact, Jack. Hey. The instructions actually tell you to focus on the head and this part first, but everything is going to get really loosey-goosey once you start taking it apart. So you just want to pay your focus on this. And then you're going to bend this up a la 90 degrees, and you're going to get that tab to sit right there within the forearm. Yeah, I was going to say, while I do appreciate this 0.5 zoom out, I don't like what it does to the frame rate and also the resolution. Like I'm recording at 720p at 30 FPS, whereas normally it's 1080p 60 FPS. But hey, it's helping me get the shot, and so I think you guys can understand. But normally, yeah, I would be recording at a higher rate. Okay, so this back piece on the other side of this is the front of the truck. And so what's going to happen here is the head is going to get, you open it up, and I'm wondering, like, dude, is that a stress mark? I hope not. There's like a little white bit over here. I hope that's not a stress mark. And this is, ultimately, you need this to be sitting Like these are going to fold up and they're going to sit atop here. So the head needs to sit between them. And so what you're going to do is you're going to release this collar bit, and then you're going to remove that whole thing down. You see this, how this is on a slider? That's kind of crazy, dude. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of like, not crude, but perhaps not the most sophisticated engineering. And so what's going to happen is you're going to bring that all back over here. And I believe that that's how it's going to rest. And if it's not, then I will fix it up in post. This you need to spin around, but you can't just spin it here. You see that break in the gap right over here? You have to bring this down to that point, then you can spin it around. And yeah, and so again, I may have the head wrongly positioned, but I'm gonna find out if I do. I think it's right though. I think it's right, and I think it's gonna be like that because these bits are going to move up there. But maybe I spun it the wrong way. Okay, there we go. And so once this moves up here, there's going to be these tabs and that little circle bit that you have to get this to rest on top of, like that. And I'm doing my best to support this part because, I don't know, man, there's a little bit of a wobble here, and I'd be worried long-term about putting too much pressure on that area. And again, you want to configure it so that the head is going to sit right there. That's a big, big, big component. And so we'll move this up. Okay, so now the head's sitting in there. And then we can bring... Oh, no, forgot. You got to open this bit up. There you go. And then now, that's probably one of the more difficult areas of the transformation. And this will all tab in at that point. And this will all kind of like rest. And these will come up. And it does a good enough job of having everything tab in. These do need to be lined up correctly. And it's a little bit of a chore because one of the things about this is there's a lot of blind areas. Meaning like you won't be able to see it even though you need to get it to tab in. So this bit I also believe will tab in here. But like, yeah, I can't really see this exactly. Okay. I think I got it. Neat. Let me just see. Let me just take a quick breather. I need to kind of clear my head for a second before we continue with the transformation. Okay, that was very necessary. The next part over here, what we're going to do is we're going to open a bunch of stuff up, then we're going to fold it back in, and so it's a bit of a reverse play going on. And so one, we're going to untab these, we're going to fold these down, and then we'll release the foot for the time being. And then what we want to do is we want to bring out this tire. But in order to do that, this bit is going to fold in, but, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I support the torso as best as possible. You see how I can't bring it out? You have to bring it out in order for the tire to come out. So what you need to do, and I don't know if I'm doing this wrong, but the only way that I've gotten this to work is, oh, wait a minute. It did swing out. I'll shut up then. All right. I don't know how that worked because it wasn't working before. And then from here, you're going to bring this out. And as you bring this out, there is this piece in here. Oh, great. I needed a spudger last time, but I got it. So you're going to bring this out as well because this is going to help everything like tab in. After you've done that, this will close in. This will close in. Actually, you know what? Maybe this is supposed to stay in there. I think this is perhaps used for combined mode. I was like, what's that word again? The torso mode. All right. And then from here, we're going to fold out this tire. like that. And this is on a slider. And what you're going to want to do is slide that all the way up, plug that one in, and then tab that one in. And there you go. There you have the side of the vehicle. And I think these are supposed to be up. Yeah, you slide that up like so. And before I forget, this bit, I'm just going to set that down. You're going to fold out. You're going to fold the tire out. And as I mentioned earlier, he's not a champ when it comes to rolling. And so I wish they had done some of the measuring a little bit better. And then what you're going to do over here, this bit, I hope I can do this with my nail. I don't have a, do I have a spudger handy? Oh, I do. All right, give me a second. But I was able to bring that one up. You're just going to want to fish this out. There we go. And so, because this is going to connect to this thing. Now, what we're going to do here now that this is all clear, we're going to fold this back, and there's going to be lots of points of locking. That little tab that you see right there is going to tab into this. That tab right over here is going to tab into the side of this, and that black tab is going to tab in here. But the part that messes me up is, so there's that swing mechanism on the hip, and there's a ratchet mechanism on the knee. I'm not really sure which one I'm supposed to be using right now to bring the legs back. I mean, it works in various configurations, you know, it does. Unlike here, let me show you. And so right now you can see that this is at a certain angle, that's at a certain angle. And I don't know, it's working fine. So I guess I'll just kind of leave it for the time being. Oh, I forgot to do this. You're going to bring this up, and you are going to flip this around, and we'll work on that in just a second. Yeah, maybe I should have done this first. So this top one, I don't think it connects anywhere, or it like helps it sit or something like that. But the bottom one on that piece will tab in there. The bottom one definitely is required for the tire. And actually, you know what? It's not that bad. But this, they get stuck like a lot. And I don't know what that is, like what's going on over there, but they do get stuck a lot there. Yeah. And then we're going to fold this in, and then we're going to get this, and that little, what is it? Post is going to plug into that port like that. And that's going to reveal the blaster up at the top. This will give you the truck bed, and then this will come down like that. Cool. Do you want to see me do the other leg, or can I just do it off camera? I think I'll just do it off camera. I hope you don't mind, okay? Alrighty, got it done. Tabbed both of those buggers in, and for the most part, it actually came together much better. This is my third or fourth time transforming this, and yeah, it's progressively gotten better. Yeah, it has improved. Everything's lined up properly in terms of the hips. They are lined up as well in terms of those bars. The knees are also lined up, and that is a big component of it. The wheels, they continue to still get stuck, and you got to loosen them up. And I'm just going to try the roll test. Yeah, it's certainly not the best. I wish it was better, but it's certainly not the best. There's lots of collision points and things like that, but whatever, dude. I'm not like rolling this thing around. They are pretty though. Nice chrome on the tires. The rubber feels good, and yeah. The front of the truck, that just looks very, very ominous, and you can see a bit of my reflection over there, my forehead. I'm very dark right now because of I got tan during my vacation. There are no windows or anything up on the side. It looks like a garbage truck, you know, less like a, I mean, it is a very, very stylized, futuristic looking dump truck and stuff, or like whatever this is. But no, it's good. The back, you can see the truck bed. It exudes the long hauliness. I like the blasters kind of hidden up top. That's a nice little touch of aesthetics. Everything's pretty clean, and for the most part, yeah, it holds together well. The Devastator chest crest is displayed nicely. This, I don't know if that's a hose or some type of blaster. It could be whatever you want. It's good. It's good. Cleans up very nice on the bottom. This head thing, you don't really see it anymore, so it doesn't really bother you. And so, yeah, I will say that transformation was not as bad as I remember. I slept on it, and so, no, it came together nicely. And part of it, I think, is, I feel like I have this obligation to you guys to bring you a very clean and smooth transformation, because I used to be really horrible at doing these things on camera, but I have grown and improved as well. And so here is the truck mode. But now we are going to move on to the more cumbersome of the three modes, the torso mode. And I mean, you saw it already, right? But when you see me going from this mode into the torso mode, there's going to be a lot of parts where you're like, why are you doing that? You'll see, okay? So I'll be right back. Need to clear my head. Just give me a second. All right, and away we go. I'm a little scared. So we're going to start by returning the legs to baseline. It's going to be a half truck, half robot mode. And so we're going to start by bringing everything back down like that. Then we're going to undo these parts, and we're going to undo these parts as that's kind of in there now. In there like swimwear. Okay. Cool. And you're going to do that for both sides. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to bring the legs all the way down, or just open them up again, so to speak. But I'm not really sure what this is caught on at the moment. It should just open up. Huh? I'm dumbfounded. I mean, yeah, I know I got it in there, but maybe if I split the legs, it'll be easier. It was just kind of stuck. All right. I wish we had more of that. Friends. And so, all right, upon doing this, you remember those bits earlier that I talked about? You're going to have to fish those things out. And maybe I can do it without a spudger like I did last time. Go, gadget finger. No, it's not going to work. Okay, so we're going to bring that out. And what we're going to do there is we are going to lift this bit up. We're going to turn this around. And you want to make sure that this is pressed up, because what you're going to do is these are going to flip around, and as they flip around, they're going to tab into that piece. So that's kind of cool. And it's going to rest like that, right? Same thing over here, my dear. Lift that up. Make sure that this is down, getting this stuff out of the way so that you can lift and tilt. And I'm gonna, come on. Ow. It jammed itself between my nail and my finger. I hate when that happens. It's happened to me way more in the entirety of my life. It's happened way more since I've started doing this transformation YouTube thing than in the entirety of my life. And it's not a good feeling. Not a great feeling. Okay. So from here, we can tab these bits together. And I'm going to make sure to hit the camera. That's what I'm going to do. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So these bits, we're just going to kind of open up. And what we're going to do is we are now going to spin this, and then you can bring this back down. All right, now we're going to fold the legs back up. And so what you're going to do is you're going to fold these tires in. And this entire bit is going to double collapse. It's going to collapse, bend at the knee. It's also going to bend at the hips. So you want to use the ratchets. So bend them like that first, and then bend this all the way back. The whole desk is shaking, but it does need to clear that section right there. There you go. And you can push it through, and then those will just kind of sit on top of that waste section like so. Woo! There's still more to go, my friends. There is still way more to go. And let me take a quick breather. Okay, so inside here are the thighs, and in order to release them, you have to separate them. But before you do that, you need to give them clearance. And so, although this may not be the best order of operation, we're just going to kind of do it like so. So we're going to remove these bits. Oh, my nails hurt so much, dude. My nails and the tips of my fingers. Okay, there we go. So we're going to remove that bit, and we're going to lift that bit up, because we want to free this section primarily so that we can free up the arms. And so we're going to bring the arms down. There's a lot of transformation that goes on in the arms. I mean, everywhere, I guess. But I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to untab this, ratchet it down, then you're going to spin this, and then you're going to reverse it the other way. And as you do that, this front bit you're going to push up, and it will slide up like butter. And then you can do that, right? And same thing for the other side. We're just going to undo this, swivel this around, and then bring this slide this forward. Ow. And then we can tab this into the back. Okay. Now, a couple of things. These bits, can I get them out with my nails? Yeah. The metal securing bars, you're going to bring them down. And then now this entire section. Oh, forgot. There's a locking latch right there, and you kind of want to undo that. And you can see how that whole bit just kind of lifted up. I know, it's somewhat convoluted, right? And then you want to make sure that those are facing forward. And this whole thing will move up, and it will sit down on here, and it will look kind of awkward because this is at a slant, but you just want to make sure that this is flat, and the head will still hide right in there in the middle. So this whole thing will come up, and I don't know why I can't do it for this side. Like, my brain's like, you gotta reorient that, son. Dude, I'm having a brain fart. Why is this not working for me? Why did it work like butter on one side? And just give me 1 second, dude. Something's wrong with my brain. Hold up. All right, I got it. But kind of. But yeah, dude, my brain was like totally misfiring. I couldn't figure out how to do that. I had to step off camera. And so you're gonna open these up, and you're gonna bring that forward. Don't worry about these things for now. And then you will secure this in place and make sure that the head is still in the center over here. This bit, make sure that you spin it and have that facing downward for a second. These parts are going to hold up. They will come together, and they do need to tab in to this green bit, which will further secure them. Okay. And I think that's it. Yeah. I mean, there's still more to go, but I mean, in terms of this part, and then this bit will come down and it will just rest on top of that. Maybe this folds up, yeah. So that is ultimately going to be, there's still more to go, but at least this top portion, it's done. I'll bring these out later as the final, I'll do it right now. I think this is kind of cool. The way that wing just kind of transformed. You peel this off at the top, and then you get this bit, and then you bring that up. I mean, that's kind of cool. What's not cool is that, one, this is not that secure of a connection, and two, it's just hanging here. But my guess is that hook is really going to be the deciding factor on how secure this entire top bit is. And so, yeah, just know that we're going to work on that in just a second. But what we need to do here now is we got to work on the thigh. Can you believe it? We're not done. And so what you want to do is you want to get in here. You want to separate. Ow! Golly, that hurt. You want to separate them, but don't do what I did. Don't be a fool. And then you're going to lift this. Oh, one other part. You see these green bits? They're going to come down and they're going to secure into the top. So they're doing the best that they can with multiple points of lock to secure that bit. And I can respect that, to try to minimize wobble, but I don't know, man. So lift these bits all up because these are holding the thighs in at the moment. Same thing for the front. And what we're going to do is we're going to spin this bit around and we're going to open up these. We're going to open up these bays like that. All right, now this bit. These will separate and they will come together. And as they come together, that bit is going to secure it. I know there's like a lot of stuff going on. I know. And that's going to secure it in place. I mean, for what it's worth, it does secure. And then those 4 prongs, those posts are going to plug in there. You just need to get everything lined up properly. And I think I did. Now we're going to work on that back part. Yeah. And don't worry, this spring part is supposed to be on a spring. It's only depressed when you're in the other mode. And then you can bring the side skirts down. You know how we had this open? Now we are going to bring this up on this thin bar. And there are tabs and slots that will allow you to hook this thing in place, but okay. So there. And here we have the chest again. But yeah, it's that part, right? I told you earlier in the video that like the path getting here was going to be somewhat cumbersome and troublesome, and that it's going to leave a lot to be desired because everything's just kind of like chilling, right? But again, my guess is that hook is going to slide on to these parts. It's probably going to connect into these bits over here, perhaps even this front section. And it's going to bring a lot of closure to this whole thing. And it better connect to the back of this because I don't feel comfortable just with these bars holding up these legs. And so I'm hoping hook comes in, attaches to the top of this, and does a variety of things to bring closure to what this thing is. But for what it's worth, just looking at it like this, I mean, that's pretty cool, man. Took a lot to get here. And you can see these are the thighs. They're going to just slide in. I did move them before, but yeah, they're obviously on a very tight ratchet. And you know what? I'm gonna spare my fingers. But yeah, That is the chest crest. That is the chest crest. Which one has been your favorite mode? Chest mode, truck mode, or robot? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. Yeah, this is a bit of a wild one, wasn't it? But we got here. We got here. We got here. But thank you so much for watching, friends. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope you have enjoyed your time here. And, you know, like, subscribe, share, and all that good jazz. And I'll talk to you another time, monkeys. Okay, bye-bye.